All right, get ready to dive deep into the world of envelope making. And we're not just folding paper here. We're going to help you really nail that interview.
Using all the awesome resources from RoleCatcher, of course, career guides, interview
Oh
guides.
yeah, they even have those AI tools.
Exactly.
So if you're thinking about making a career out of crafting those perfect little
Deep
packages,
packages of information.
yes, then let's jump right in.
You know, people don't always realize how much skill and precision goes into making a really great envelope.
Yeah, it's more than meets the eye.
It truly is a craft.
Okay, so let's get right to it with one of the most common interview questions. What inspired you to become an envelope maker?
I bet some people listening are thinking, easy, I need a job.
Right. But there's got to be a better way to answer.
Definitely. This is your chance to show them you're really passionate about this. You know, interviewers want people who are excited about the work. Think about what got you interested in the first place. Is it that feeling of creating something real, something you can hold, or maybe the process itself, all those steps?
I love that.
Maybe even a childhood memory, tied to a special letter. Find that real inspiration and share it.
It's like make it personal.
Yeah.
Now, the interview guide from RoleCatcher suggests having a few different answers ready for these common questions, and they actually have AI that can give you feedback on how well you're tailoring your answers. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like having your own coach just for your answers.
I like it.
Okay, ready for another question? This one comes up a lot. How do you make sure those envelopes meet quality standards?
Ah, yes. The quality control question. Can't just say, I'm careful, though, right?
Right. They want to see how detail-oriented you are, like
Yeah.
you really understand the process and you
Yep.
care about making top-notch envelopes.
Show them your meticulous side.
Yes. This is your time to shine. Walk them through your approach step by step. Maybe you have a mental checklist you go through.
Oh, or special tools.
Yeah. Or even like a little motto about precision.
Every fold, every glue, every time.
I like that.
Okay, what about this one? How would you handle a high volume of orders? That sounds a little intimidating.
That's where organization comes in. Think back to times you've juggled a lot of tasks or projects at once. Maybe you use a specific time management method.
Oh, like a to-do list?
Yeah. Or even project management software. Sharing those examples shows that you can stay calm and efficient even when things are busy.
And if you've never dealt with lots of orders before, don't worry. Just think of other times you've had to prioritize and stay organized. RoleCatcher's AI can help find those transferable skills from your past jobs
Oh, yeah, that's a great point.
and help you work them into your answers.
It's all about making those connections, showing how you can adapt.
Now, let's switch gears a bit. What if they ask about a challenging project? What kind of story should you tell?
This is where you get to show off those problem-solving skills. Have you ever had a machine malfunction that you had to fix?
Oh, or had to get creative to meet a crazy deadline.
Exactly. Pick an experience that shows your analytical thinking, how creative you can be, and how you work with others. And don't be afraid to give details. Explain what happened, the steps you took, and the great outcome you achieved.
I love it. So even if it's not directly about envelopes, you can use examples from other parts of your life. The key is to show you're resilient and you know how to overcome those obstacles.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk sustainability for a minute. How would you make sure the envelopes you create are environmentally sustainable? That seems tricky, especially if you're new to this whole thing.
Yeah, it's all about showing you care about it and you want to learn. You can mention your knowledge of different paper types like recycled or sustainably sourced options. Maybe you've even researched those eco-friendly glues.
Oh, or have some ideas about reducing waste during production.
Okay.
I see. So even just acknowledging it's important and saying you're eager to learn more, that can go a long way.
Absolutely.
After all, staying up to date with industry trends is so important, and RoleCatcher's Career Guide has some really interesting info on how sustainability is shaping the future of envelope making.
So true. It's not just about sticking envelopes, it's about being part of an industry that's always evolving.
I like that. Okay, let's move on to another important one. How would you handle difficult clients or tricky orders? I mean, customer service is key in any job, right?
Absolutely. And this is where empathy and being able to communicate clearly are your superstars.
Well, that makes sense.
Think of a situation where you had a tough conversation or had to find a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
Walk them through how you approached it with understanding, patience, and focused on finding a solution.
It's all about turning a potential negative into a positive.
Exactly.
Okay, here's another one about juggling tasks. How do you prioritize your workload when you're working on multiple projects at the same time?
This is where you showcase those awesome time management skills. Explain your method, whether it's a specific technique like the Eisenhower matrix, or maybe a digital tool, or even just a good old-fashioned planner. Being able to explain your process shows that you're focused and organized.
And if you can't think of specific envelope projects,
Yeah.
think about other times you've managed competing demands, like balancing school and a part-time job, or even keeping a family schedule organized. RoleCatcher's AI can help you identify those transferable skills
It can.
and weave them into your answers.
It's all about showcasing your adaptability and your ability to handle pressure. All right, how about this one? What skills or qualities do you think are most important for success in this role?
Ooh, now you get to connect your strengths with what the job needs. We've talked about attention to detail, problem solving, a passion for the craft. What else would you add?
Oh, don't forget about communication. It might seem obvious, but being able to talk effectively with colleagues, supervisors, maybe even clients, it's so important.
And it's not just speaking clearly, it's also about really listening and asking those clarifying questions. And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your responses and give you feedback on your communication style. Helps you make sure you're coming across clearly and confidently.
It's like having a communication coach in your pocket.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay, let's get a little technical now. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot an issue with an envelope order? Even if you're new to this, I bet you've run into a problem that needed fixing at some point.
Oh, for sure.
It could be a technical glitch, a logistical mess up, or even just miscommunication. It's really about how you handled the challenge.
Exactly. Think back to a time when you had to figure out the root of the problem, weigh your options, and then put a solution in place. Explain your process and highlight the positive result, how your problem-solving skills saved the day. Problem-solving is so important, right? And it really does apply to so many things, not just envelopes. Speaking of which, how about this question? If you could design your dream envelope, what would it look like?
Oh, I love that question. It's your chance to be creative, think outside the box, and really show your passion.
Right. Think beyond the basic rectangle. What about a unique shape? Or a cool material?
Maybe a special way to close it.
Yeah.
Ooh, what about an envelope made from that seed paper, the biodegradable kind, so you can plant it after you open it?
Wow, that's a great idea.
The possibilities are endless. And don't be afraid to explain why you chose what you did. Like, what message are you trying to send with your dream envelope?
It's a great way to show them you're creative and you think ahead. Okay, ready for a tougher one. What are your salary expectations for this role?
Ugh, the salary question.
Yeah.
Always a little awkward, but you got to be ready for it.
For sure. Do your research before the interview. Find out what the average salary is for envelope makers in your area.
Yeah, consider your experience level and the size of the company, too.
Websites like Glassdoor and Indeed can be really helpful for that.
Oh, yeah, those are great resources.
And remember, it's a negotiation. Be realistic, but also know your worth.
Right.
You can even mention that you're open to discussing the whole compensation package, things like benefits and opportunities for growth.
Good point. Okay, last question. And this one flips the script. Do you have any questions for us? This is your chance to find out more and see if the company's a good fit for you.
Don't underestimate the power of asking good questions. It shows you're interested and engaged. You could ask about the company culture, their commitment to sustainability, their plans for growth, or even how they approach professional development.
Oh, maybe you're curious about the specific technology they use,
Yeah.
the types of envelopes they produce, or even the team dynamics. Choose questions that show what you're really interested in, and that will help you make a good decision.
It's about finding a role that matches your goals and values.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, before we move on, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier, technology and envelope making. RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually highlights how automation and robotics are changing the game.
Oh, yeah. It's really fascinating to see how the industry is evolving.
These new machines can crank out envelopes so fast, and they're incredibly precise. And with digital printing on the rise, the customization options are just exploding.
It's amazing. But that means envelope makers need to be adaptable and keep learning.
Right.
It might mean mastering new software, operating those high-tech machines, or even getting into the nitty-gritty of digital printing.
And that's where those professional organizations mentioned in the career guide, like the Envelope Manufacturers Association, can be super valuable.
Totally agree.
They offer training, workshops, networking opportunities, all those things to help you stay ahead of the curve.
It's all about investing in your professional growth and making sure you have the skills to thrive as the industry keeps changing. And of course, RoleCatcher's AI can play a big part in that.
Oh, for sure. We've talked about how it can help with your CV and resume, analyzing your answers, and even giving feedback on how you communicate. But there's another part of RoleCatcher's AI we haven't mentioned yet, their video practice feature.
Yes, this is such a cool tool. You can record yourself answering interview questions and then get feedback on things like your body language, tone of voice, and overall presentation.
That's like having a virtual coach right there with you, helping you fine-tune all those little things that can make a big difference in how you come across.
It really is. And when you combine that with all the insights from the career and interview guides, you're setting yourself up for success. It's all about working smarter, not harder, using all these resources to show your best self.
So true. Now, before we get to our final thoughts, I wanted to bring up something that I find really interesting. The fact that envelope making is such a tangible thing. In a world that's going more and more digital, there's something special about creating something you can actually hold in your hands.
I totally agree. There's just a real satisfaction in taking raw materials and turning them into these perfect little vessels for communication.
And that tactile experience, that connection to the physical world, is something that a lot of people really appreciate, especially now.
It's like a reminder of the power of things made by hand, that personal touch.
And who knows, maybe that personal touch, that attention to detail, is what will make you stand out in your interview and help you land your dream envelope making job. Wow, we've really covered a lot in this news
You
dive.
have. From those common interview questions to the future of envelope making, it's been a journey.
And don't forget about all those RoleCatcher resources, how those can help you really shine in your job search.
Oh yeah, those are game changers.
Crafting that perfect CV, practicing your answers, even analyzing your body language.
RoleCatcher gives you that extra boost.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, using those tools to show the best version of yourself.
Absolutely. You know, one thing that stood out to me throughout this whole deep dive is the passion behind it all.
You're right. Even though it seems like a simple craft, there's so much more to it.
We talked about the satisfaction of making something tangible, that focus on detail, the commitment to quality, and even how to make a positive impact through sustainability.
It's inspiring.
It really is. And I think that passion, that real enthusiasm, it's what's going to come through in your interview and really connect with potential employers.
So as you're getting ready for your envelope making interview, remember to tap into that passion.
Let it fuel your answers, shape your questions, and show them who you really are.
Because it's not just about getting a job, it's about finding a role where you can truly thrive.
That's the key. Contributing your own unique skills and perspective.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to shake up the industry with your innovative designs.
Or your commitment to eco-friendly practices.
Yeah. Or maybe just your pure dedication to the craft.
The future of envelope making is bright. And with the right preparation,
And a whole lot of passion.
you can be a part of it.
So go out there, ace that interview, and embrace the exciting world of envelope making.